Hey, welcome back to the Breaking Bad Insider Podcast. My name is Kelly Dixon. I'm here today with, of course, my executive producer, Vince Gilligan.
Hello.
Our co-executive producer, Michelle McLaren.
Hello.
And we have a really special guest today. We have Bob Odenkirk in the house.
Hi, you guys. Somebody asked me the other day, have people been asking you for legal advice?
Have they?
No, come on, man. Please, everyone, you understand, right? The TV is not real. First of all, how it happened was my agent called me and he said, they're going to offer you this role and you really should take it. This is the kind of role that people win Emmys for. And then you and I spoke and you said his name's Saul Goodman and I'm listening and I'm like, should I say something or not? I go, look, Vince, I'm not Jewish. My wife is, my kids are, sort of. But I'm not Jewish. And he goes, oh, that's all right. He's not Jewish either. And he goes, he just took that name, to impress the homeboys.
Yes. Yes.
That was awesome. And then right away, when you were describing the character, I go, I already know what the hair is. That was on our first conversation. I said,
this is true.
I want a mullet that's cleaned up. It's not a total mullet like you're used to, but it's kind of really looks... And a comb over. That helps you know the character when you put on all that stuff.
I've got a question to that. Saul, and I don't know if this is Saul or you, but Saul talks a lot
with his hands.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing things is, and Kelly, you can speak to this, we get into the editing room, and your hands match.
I mean, it's not ever really conscious, right? It's always like there's a subconscious... I mean, he's a magician. He wants you looking over here. He wants you looking over there. You know what? I like the juxtaposition of that waiting room with his office.
Yeah.
I mean, that waiting room is the saddest room on earth. You know what I mean? And then his office is like just a cheesy version of the Smithsonian in his mind, or something, or the Oval Office.
You know what, though? Having said that, I think Saul Goodman, despite his shysterism and whatnot, I think he actually is a good lawyer.
Oh, I think
he's
so
a
too.
smart guy, and part of his thing is when necessary, letting people underestimate him.
People ask me, did they plan on keeping Saul around? And I said, I don't know.
Anytime you're doing a TV show, I don't want to say hedge your bets. That's not the right expression to use here, but you sort of build in escape hatches or whatnot story-wise. And by that I mean, if it hadn't worked out, if you had a bad experience and didn't want to come back. But my hope from the beginning was that what happened would happen, and that Saul would be a long-term consigliere for Walt and an important part of the show.
Mike Slovis directed this show. He's our director of photography.
Did he do both in this episode?
No,
he had somebody else
did,
DP it.
Impossible to do both on our 8-day schedule because you prep as a director. You prep for a week. You prep for an 8-day cycle while the episode before yours is being shot.
But Michael really, he focused on the actors and he focused on telling the story rather than the lighting, and he did a phenomenal job.
Bryan is one of those actors, he's such the real deal. I mean, I've been with a lot of great performers, but a lot of people are kind of selling their personality. They're kind of amplifying their personality. And then acting can be a different thing.
Right,
I think what Bryan's doing is acting. He's not like Walter White.
No.
No. In his natural energy, I don't think is like Walter White. And he just takes his energy and puts it all into this place.
Yes.
Because I'm mostly a writer, my career, But, the thing about performing is this. If the script is good, if the part is good, it's a great activity.
Right.
If the part is not good or not well written,
Yeah.
it's not a good thing to spend your time doing. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You're like a prop that talks, you know.
One of my questions to you especially is how much improv do you do? I mean,
people do ask me that every time. I don't do any improv. I don't do any improv.
Well, wait a minute, because what was Saul talking about in Spanish when, they were about to, bury you in the desert? Because you were saying, you sort of...
Yeah, I say some. I can't remember. I learned it what's phonetically.
You want to talk about that day? Wasn't that was the coldest,
that was
toughest
just one of
single
my
day?
favorite
Windy and
times in my life. It was horrible, but I mean, I'm sorry, but it really was just the greatest.
Cool.
Because it's 2 a.m., you're 46 years old, you have 2 kids, and now you find yourself in the desert at 2 a.m. with these giant lights and pretending to be you're going to be shot in the head and thrown in a grave. And what could be better than that? There's a sandstorm also.
Well, thanks everybody for listening, and let's go break bad.